So what I'm about to do right now might not make any sense, but trust me, it will be worth it in the long run. So I decided to switch it from herbs to flax. I really wanted to get some flax for some plans I had in the future. What is that, like 14K flax? That can last me a very long time. We did get some decent seeds, so it's not too bad. But yeah, this will make sense a little bit later. I'm still AFKing right now, so about another 10 days or so, and then I'll be back at it. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of my Hardcore Iron Man series. How many times have you heard that a week? Everyone's starting off with, why Hardcore Iron Man series? Anyways, I got a lot of good feedback from the last video. I'm actually having to do a voiceover because based on what you guys have told me in the last video, I kind of wanted to change it up a little bit. I already had this video basically completely recorded, like 20 minutes and everything, and I decided that I'm going to have to just redo it all to kind of make it better for you guys and do a little bit less rambling. I actually had to use a freeze frame here because I'm just going to talk about what's in my inventory. So, like what I said is I was going to AFK for about 300-400 hours while studying and finishing up my school if I didn't make that 100% clear. And so essentially I was AFKing for 300 hours, 400 hours, it was something around there. It was like basically 2 weeks of like 12 to 14 hours a day, so whatever that math ends up being. And you can see this, everything in the inventory is what I ended up getting during that time in terms of items. So you can see in the top left there, the giant seaweed. I actually got 5,222 giant seaweed, which is enough for, I believe, 86 crafting actually, which is at one point I stopped. I think I didn't even do seaweed runs the last 5 days because I was just happy with getting 86 crafting, and I didn't want to fully commit to the method if I wasn't 100% sure I was going to want to do it long term. So I was like, you know what, 86 crafting is going to be very good in the long term. I also managed to collect 652 limp words throughout that time. And those unfinished potions you see there are actually Raynar potions. So I have 868 Raynar potions. Those were all the Raynars I collected during that time. I actually stopped doing herb runs after about the third day. I just wanted to focus a little bit more on studying, so I was basically just focusing on the AFK stuff. I did manage to keep up my bird runs though. As you can see, I got 1,600 birds' nests, which gave me a ton of seeds, a ton of rings. It was very nice. This was actually, I think it was on the last day of my AFKs when the birdhouse nerf came out. I can't quite remember. I can't remember how the dates line up. Then I also converted all the gold bars I had into gold bracelets to ALK. I'm going to be talking a little bit near the end of the video about my kind of why I'm focusing so much on ALKs right now. You might be thinking like, well, you're not going to be making much money off that or anything like that, but yeah, so I got all those ALKs, how many is that, 2,694. I left like 700 gold bars just for jewelry in the future because I probably won't be training much smithing for quite a while. Then I also strung 5,300 maple longbows as well. I actually already ALKed a few. I got 77 magic. I did like just a couple laps before recording this clip. The first thing I did after I finished my classes is I went straight to Sears and started doing ALK agility. But yeah, that's about 2.2 mil or so in ALKs, and then I also got 6,000 flax left. As you saw from earlier, I got, what was it, like 13,000 flax, so I used about half of it. I strung it manually, just because stringing it manually is incredibly AFK, and my cash stack is now back to 950k, which isn't too bad. But those are the main items that I ended up getting from my AFKing. It was mostly training stats. I didn't obviously train things very efficiently, but those are the items I managed to collect, and I'm pretty happy with it. So let's move on to the stat portion where I can show you the progress we made. If you look at the screen now, I got a before and after of before I started studying and after I started studying, just to kind of give you a general idea. I'll go stat by stat to kind of give you a little bit breakdown, but this will kind of give you an overall picture. I gained roughly 104 to 130 total levels during that time, so almost like 10 a day basically. So like 7 or 8 a day. It was pretty crazy. It was a lot of easy levels though. Like obviously Hunter is one of those. Like I said, I'll go break it down individually, so let's just move on to the next section of stats here. Here you can see the breakdown for most of the combat stats. We managed to gain 5 attack levels, 7 strength levels, and 9 defense levels, mostly just from meleeing ammonite crabs. I did do a very little bit of Nightmare Zone, not too much because I wanted to be able to do my birdhouse runs for quite a while. I did also get 19 range levels. That's probably what I did for the first 2 days. Is I just used a bone crossbow actually for like basically just 2 days of ammonite crabs. And then I also did get one magician level that was just from alking near the end, though I didn't actually train much mage throughout the entire process, if any actually. And obviously no prayer levels, but very good progress. I am very happy with having 70 range, because that means I can now use a crystal bow for the, I was going to say the Inferno, and for the fight caves. That's one of my plans coming up very shortly. So having 70 range is going to make it a lot easier. Basically 70 defense, so if I do decide to do a couple Barrows chests early, I can wear it if I wanted to. I don't think I will though. 77 magic was actually the level we needed for super glass make, so I can start making those giant seaweeds into molten glass and start getting my crafting level up. But actually, let's go over and look at my crafting level now. So you can also see, I didn't include this in the combat sets, but I did get 73 hit points. I got 8 hit points levels from that. That was mostly just from the range and some of the strength XP I got. I did also manage to get 6 agility levels. I believe one of those was from when I was doing the Alk agility right at the end there. But I actually did do some fishing, and I'll show you the progress I did fishing soon. I did get 3 herbo levels. I got the first level just from cleaning the herbs that I got from the farm runs in the first 2 days, and then I used the lamp I still had from Recipe for Disaster for 50k, and I think that got me to 51. And then because I was super close to 52, I just made like some energy potions or something like that. But yeah, 52, I don't think that's a significant level really, but it was a little bit of progress I did make. Then we did get 19 hunter levels. That's just all from birdhouses. I have not laid a single trap. I have gone from level 1 hunter or level 9 hunter to 68 hunter, all from just birdhouses. I went from using the maple birdhouses to the yew birdhouses, which was actually a significant difference. So for the first little while, I still had to use the maple ones, but yew birdhouses actually give 200 more XP per like harvest, whatever you want to call it. So it does actually make a significant difference. It's basically an extra birdhouse per run, basically. And what was crazy is, so you get a little bit of crafting XP from making the birdhouse, and I actually went from 61 to 62 just by making the birdhouses. And then from 62 to 66, that was actually me just AFK spinning flax. I didn't realize it actually gave that much XP, but I guess when you're spinning 6,000, 7,000 flax, and each gives 15 XP, it adds up a little bit. And then I did, obviously you saw that I did fletch the bows, so I did get quite a lot of fletching levels there. 17, we're now up to 73 fletching. One of the goals I do want to get relatively soon is 85 range, or 85 fletching, because you can actually make a maple or a magic short bow, which is going to be basically one of my best range weapons for a very long time. I do have a lot of headless arrows shafts with the feathers already attached, which can be used to make broad arrows. And broad arrows with a magic short bow is actually quite good. So that is definitely something I'll want to get in the future. It's going to be one of my best. It is going to be my best range weapon, basically, for when I do have to do Zulrah. I could use diamond bolts, but it depends on what your setup's going to be. It's not always better. And obviously diamond bolts are kind of expensive to use, so don't necessarily want to. So if you can, it would be better to use a magic short bow and like rune or broad arrows. So that was very, very, very good progress. I'm probably going to get a lot of fletching levels in the near future because, like I said, I want to get a lot of alks, and so it's going to be a lot of maple longbows. And here are the final set of stats. Probably some of the not quite as impressive, but some of the more significant ones. I did get 1 mining level. I tried to do AFK level of mine while studying. It wasn't quite AFK enough. You had to click every 15 seconds, so it was really difficult to focus. And like if I was doing like a project or something, just really didn't work out. But I did get 1 level. We did actually get 7 fishing levels, which is why my agility went up by so much. The great thing about that is, so at 82 fishing, you actually unlock minnows, which is something I really wanted to do for food, because it's actually like the most food per hour that you can do out of any other fishing option. Obviously, a lot of people choose to do like things like monkfish and carambons, but if you're willing to put in the effort, minnows are significantly better, and they're also a lot more XP per hour. So I managed to get up to 86, and the nice thing is, so obviously you can do minnows at 82, but at 86 you actually get like 25% more sharks per hour, which kind of seems crazy considering it's only a 4 level difference. But doing minnows right at 82 is apparently pretty rough. You only get like 350 per hour, but at like 86, 87, it's like 400 and 420, which seems crazy with just a few levels. So I thought I was pretty happy with that. I would have done more, but that's just it. AFK fishing is really, really slow, and at a certain point it's just like it's 1 day per level. I didn't get any cooking or fire making levels, but I did get 7 wood cutting levels. I believe those were all from just cutting the yew trees for my birdhouse runs. I cut about 2,000 at one point, and it's kind of crazy that 2,000 got me 7 wood cutting levels, but it did. And they're actually a lot faster than I thought. I always, for some reason, thought that wood or yews were like 100 an hour, but it was actually like 200 or almost 300 an hour, even at 70 or even at 60 wood cutting. Obviously, you do get the +7 boost because I was doing that in the woodcutting guild. But anyways, on to the last skill, which is probably one of the most important skills, and that is the farming levels. We went from 56 to 74 farming. That was a gain of 18 farming levels, which is pretty crazy considering all those seeds I got were basically just from those birdhouse runs I was doing. I was getting an incredible amount of seeds. I was doing my tree runs, my fruit runs. I even ended up doing calquat runs just because I got the level near the end. This is all without herb runs, basically. I did do some bushes. I planted a whiteberry patch. I can't remember what level you unlock it. As soon as I unlocked it, I planted that and started collecting it. But yeah, I was planting basically everything except for oak trees. So I was planting the 4 best fruit trees I could, which is usually like curry, pineapple, papaya, and a couple palm trees. I always made sure I planted things I could protect. I did not plant anything I could not protect because I didn't want to waste it. Because in the future, if you keep up with tree runs, you're always going to run out of seeds before. You're never going to have a constant supply of seeds where you're never going to run out. So you may as well just save the seeds until you can afford protection. So I think I probably have like 8 palm trees in the bank just waiting for me to get more papayas so I can pay for them. And then I did mostly yew trees and maple trees, and then quite a few willow trees. And then I obviously, like I said, I didn't do any oak trees because those are like 600, like 700 XP each. They're just really, really, really bad and not worth doing. But yeah, 74 farming is incredible. I can basically plant most, if not every single herb, except for I think it's like torstals and lantidimes, I think it is. But the great thing about this is, I didn't actually know this until like my first 2 days doing farming, is that your farming level actually makes quite a big difference on the amount of herbs you get. Some of you might be thinking, oh, of course, that's obvious, but I didn't know that at the time, so yeah, this is good. So now that when I go back to my herb runs, I'm going to get a lot more, because at 56 farming, I was probably getting like 5 or 6 herbs per seed, which is terrible. And especially if you're planting like good seeds like Raynors, you really don't want to be wasting them. And then when I did a farm run at 74, I was averaging like 8.5, which is so much nicer. But yeah, that's basically all these stats. There were a couple ones I skipped over, like I got a couple rune crafting levels just from Tears of Gothics. And I think there was something else, but like I said, nothing significant. These were all the ones that were really important that I really want to let you know about. But I actually do want to move on to the next part of this episode, which I'm going to be talking about my future plans. So up on screen, I'm going to put some graphics of item goals and certain other goals I'm going to be going towards in the next about month and a half. And the reason for this is because based on the feedback you guys gave me in the last episode, I realized I don't need to be updating you on every little thing. So I thought, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my like general layout for like the next 2 months. So I don't have to be constantly saying, oh, this is what I'm going to be doing. This is blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be you basically just refer back to these and it can give you an idea of all my plans. And I'm not going to break down each individual one. So if you look on the screen here, these are my main 6 items I am going for in phase 1 is what I'm calling it, of my road to whatever you want to call this series. So one of the first ones, one of the first 2 I want to get is the black mask and the ranger boots. Ranger boots actually have pretty low requirements because you just get medium clues. Medium clues are, there's nothing significant that you have to worry about there. The black mask, again, just 58 Slayer. Nothing too difficult there, just grind it out and get it. Fire Cape is going to be an interesting one. I do plan to just do Regicide and get a Crystal Bow. Try that out. I should have the stats and all that kind of stuff. I might wait until after Ranger Boots to do that, because may as well, because it's going to help quite a bit. And after that are the kind of 3 like ultimate goals, is the Abyssal Whip, the Trident, and the Mauritanian Legs 3. You might, as you can tell kind of just by the background, the image, and kind of the theme here, is basically my plan is to go and complete Barrows. And to do that, I'm going to want a Whip and a Trident and the Mauritania Hard Diary so I can get the extra runes for those Barrows grind. Other than that, like, I don't need much. I might do some side things, but like I said, I'm not going to update you on every single thing. So just by this, it's going to give you the general idea of what my plan is, and you can kind of just like refer back to this if you're wondering what I'm doing. Because I like I said, I do want to take into consideration your guys' feedback. and I don't want to just be like spending an entire episode just explaining things, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to get this one episode, just have it done, and then for the next 2 months I'm not going to have to say anything, because obviously going for 87 Slayer and getting a Kraken or getting a Trident and then completing Barrows is like a very, very like 1,000-hour grind probably. So just getting it over with and telling you everything I plan on doing and how I'm going to get there. In addition to those items, there's a couple just generic skill goals I do want to get along the way. So some of those are just like 70 Prayer for Piety, 73 Herb Lore so that I can get a +4 boost to make stamina potions, because those are going to be very useful for the Barrows grind. The Piety also is a requirement for the Mortania Diary, as well as 86 crafting, which I have basically banked to make the Fury, which is going to help a lot, as well as at least 83 magic so I can use the Barrows teleport on the RCS spellbook, which is going to help me significantly in the long run. I actually do want to even get higher than that. I want to aim for about 90 magic, but 83 is a minimum. 90 magic will increase the damage my Trident does by quite a bit, so it's going to make the grind a lot easier. Obviously, throughout this entire grind, I'll probably get like a mage level or two, just because I'm going to be using it a lot. And it's also going to be very expensive, so I'm going to have to save up a lot of coins, but those are just the main 4 skills that I'm really going to want to get. I might do some things on the side, but other than that, those are the main 4 skills I want to get accomplished. And then finally, when I complete all those other things, I get my whip, I get my Trident, I complete the diary, I have a fire cape, I got my black mask, I got my ranger boots, I got piety, I got stamina potions, I got 90 mage, I got my fury amulet. We're going to be ready to complete Barrows. So my plan is to do Barrows from start to end without stopping. I'm going to probably do this all on stream. It's going to be all recorded. It's going to be very fun. One of the main reasons I want to do this as well, which it's not necessarily efficient, like more or less if you understand what I mean by this, but by doing this, I'm going to get so many Chaos Runes. I'm going to be able to afford all the Onyxes I will ever need. So basically doing this is giving me a ton of pure cash, as well as so many runes that I'm like, it's going to be an endless supply of runes. I'm going to get so many Death Runes, so many Blood Runes, Mind Runes, which I guess I could use for ZMI, and just getting all those items can be incredibly useful. Like Aram's can be so useful for Zulrah. Guthin's not so much. It's not as useful anymore, but it's going to be nice to have anyways. Carol's leather top, skirt are going to be very good items, just because they have the strongest mage defense other than Armadillo, I believe. Torag's not very significant. Obviously it is a very good tank armor that's cheap, but if I get full Darox, there's no reason why I wouldn't just use Darox or Torag's, if you get what I mean there. But having a full Darox set would be very nice, because I do plan on doing Mole. You might be thinking 1 HP Mole, that's pretty scary. It is, but I should be fine. There's people who've done like 5,000 kills at Mole on a hardcore. All you got to do is just keep your prayer up. So if I die to Mole, it's probably a deserved death. And the reason for that is because I don't plan on doing a lot of Birdhouse runs in the future. It's very tedious. I don't like hourly escape, if you want to call it that. Like, I want to just do herb runs and then doing birdhouses and all that kind of stuff. It's just a massive drain, and it kind of gets you out of the rhythm. And I like getting in a rhythm, so I like doing Slayer, for example, for 8 hours straight. I don't want to do 45 minutes of Slayer, birdhouse run, 20 minutes of Slayer. Oh, now my herbs are ready. 30 minutes Slayer. Oh, my tree run. So I just want to get things done, and doing Mole is going to be one of those ways that I can do that, because I can get a ton of seeds, and it's going to be more fun content, right? Maybe I get the pet, who knows what happens. And then you also get a lot of very good seeds. I think it banks almost like 100,000 farming XP per hour, which is really ridiculous if you think about it. 100,000 farming XP in seeds per hour. Absolutely insane. I will probably go for like 3,000, 4,000 kills, but that's going to be in like phase 2. This is just phase 1, so this is going to take by itself about 2 months. But that's the last time I'm ever going to ramble about my plans. That's the end of the episode here. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know what you think of this. If it's like, oh, it's just, you basically said you're rambling just not to ramble, but I kind of want to just lay my plans out for the next 2 months. I'm not going to have to like explain myself. You're just going to know Barrows is his goal. How he gets there, he'll show us. And it's just going to make future episodes a lot better and a lot more fulfilling, and feel like there's a lot more progress being made. You can kind of, now I have laid out my entire plan for the next 2 months. You guys understand what I'm saying, and please do let me know in the comments what you thought of this. If you got this was just totally stupid, waste of time, I'm perfectly open to criticism. I make these videos for fun, so if you, as long as you enjoyed it, I'm great. But if you do have some feedback, please do let me know, because I do take that into consideration to make these videos better. Even if you just tell me like, oh, you lisp too much or whatever it is, just please do let me know so I can improve it. And as always, have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.